Hi guys, it's Amy. I'm just doing my quick, short little video that Lori asked us to do about Paola. Sorry, I'm just looking at my hair. I just ran in from the house and it's pouring and it looks awful, so I apologize for that. I did look good, but anyway, that doesn't matter. So Arbonne must go on. I just want to share just a few quick nuggets that stood out to me, and then just kind of an overall theme. This isn't super planned out. I just kind of prayed about it and just want to talk about what's on my heart. I had no idea how much this Paola retreat meant to me, because this is where I decided last year that I really wanted to do the business. And it was super, super fun to be back there this year and just compare who I am today compared to then. And just not even, in a classification level or anything, but just how much stronger of a consultant I am, how much stronger of a leader hopefully I am, how much more belief I have in the business and Arbonne and everything and myself. And that was just really awesome to see. It was just remembering being there and being kind of uncomfortable. And then not because anybody made me uncomfortable, but just because I wasn't confident, and then being there this weekend and having so much fun and just being able just to enjoy it so much. And that's a product of really working my business for a year. I mean, did I do things wrong throughout the year? Oh my goodness, so much. But it just commit and don't let yourself have a way out. And it's insane where you can be in a year, even if it's doesn't show up 100% QV wise. It can show up just in who you are, and I love that. So just a few things that I pointed out. This will be kind of random, but I was highlighting the things that really stood out to me from the notes. And one of them was Christy Dryland. She was our first person. She talked about how she looked at, I don't remember how many people in her success line, but a lot of them, of course, being there still. And she looked at how many people they had, how many consultants they had personally sponsored direct to them their first year that they were going region and everything like that. And they, on average, had 45 people. Now, she didn't say this, but I would assume all 45, didn't necessarily do everything or book or, really stuck. But like we've heard before, the cream rises to the top. So I love numbers. I'm a number person. I like being able to put it on a chart and put it on my board and say, okay, this is what I'm aiming for. So I love that. 45 people direct to them from start to, their first year in their business to take them where they're at. So are we doing 45 in a year? That's crazy. That's doable. It's awesome. But I love having that as a goal. I'll go back to Donna Johnson in a second. I love, though, that Donna Johnson uses no shame, no stories. I actually used that today as I talked to one of my teammates. And just talked about that we're just really going to use that. No shame, no stories. There's no shame from above, but there's also no stories. No excuses. It doesn't matter what happened. Just this is where we're at. This is the reality. Where are we going from that? What are we going to learn? I also loved, she gave us the circle of success and made it just really simple. We schedule, we present, we close, we launch because we find new people to sponsor, we duplicate, we repeat. And that's how we're successful in Arbonne. And then to become region, you need 8 to 15 people doing that with you. To go nation, you need 20 to 25 or more doing that with you. So once again, I'm a numbers person. I love that. So it was really good. There was a lot of really, really good things, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to talk about, the things that stood out to them. So I just want to hit the ones that are really, really stuck with me. Lori Funk was a rock star. As always, we always know that. Her heart just oozes out when she speaks. It's amazing. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. We're so blessed to have you as our direct. One of the things I love that she said, she was talking about the fairy godmother, and she said that we all have the key to unlock the prince and princesses and other people. And that's why we're here. We want to go around and we want to make life better to as many people as we can. And I love that. By offering the business, believing in them, acting confidently, teaching them how to act confidently, help them get organized, help them get started. I love that. That was awesome. So, okay, Steph McKee. She talked about the revolving 10. I'm not going to go into exactly what that is. There's an amazing learning burn that came out just a couple months ago about that, but that was great. But one of the lines she said that I loved is, there's no use to going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. I love that. How many of us have finished up a month and we're like, oh my goodness. Like we look at the results and we're ashamed and we just want to hide for a little bit. But you know what? That's not serving us. That's not serving anybody. It doesn't matter. No shame, no stories. There's no use in thinking about who you were last month because you're not that same person anymore. You're moving on. You're getting better. And even if you had a great month last month, celebrate that, but become better. You're still not that person. You're getting better and you're getting better and you're getting better. And I love that. And I love, there were many times because the theme was Disney, and of course, you know, most of them really played on like princesses and things like that. But so it was a lot of magic in Arbonne. There's a lot of magic that happens, and you never know when that day is going to happen, when an ace is going to walk through your life, and you have no idea. You have no idea. Those stories are awesome, but you know what has to happen for us to be out there to find those aces is we have to be consistent. We have to be out there talking about Arbonne. We have to be out there listening to people. We have to be out there ready to ask questions and love on people. And if we're doing that every day, God's going to bring them into our lives. We have to be ready for that. But if I'm never in activity, I'm never talking to people about Arbonne, no one's going to come up to me and knock on my door and ask me, you know, tell me about Arbonne. I want to do this. It's not going to happen. But so we have to be in habit. We have to be consistent in doing those things we need to be doing in order for when that magic to happen. When that person walks through or that opportunity walks through, we're ready for it and we're confident in that. And I've actually started trying to do that even just with posture, you know, how you're going out, how you're presenting yourself. I love one of the lines Sherry Day said, God brought me to it. He'll get me through it somehow. I love that she added that because it's so true. We always say, you know, God will bring me to it. He'll bring you through it. And it's true. But I love that. God called me into this business. I think God called lots of us into this business. So somehow he's going to get us through. And I love that. The last speaker was Valerie Edwards. She was really, really wonderful. She scared me at times in my year of Arbonne. If you ever need someone to kick you in the pants to get going, just look up Valerie. But it always comes from the heart. But it's what you need to hear at those times. This was the absolute biggest thing that stood out to me. She had us write down our compelling reason. Why are we doing Arbonne? And how many times have we done this in Arbonne? A ton, right? I have my 21 reasons here. My entire board is filled with visual reasons of why I'm here, but writing it actually down. And for me personally is to be able to speak and pour God's light into every person that I can, because I want to be a public speaker and I want to write books to inspire others with my story and to show God's love so big. That's my compelling why. And so I wrote that down. I did what she told me to do. And then she said, okay, so what are the consequences if you don't achieve that? And that was huge, because you know what that did for me? That made it not about me. You know, of course, some things in Arbonne I want because, I want a different house that doesn't have carpet because I cannot stand carpet. And it's disgusting in my house. And I want to move back home and I want the Mercedes. And I'll be real, I love going shopping. I want to go shopping and I want to buy a designer purse because I've never had a designer purse in my life. But those are, we know that those are materialistic things that don't really bring happiness and joy. And it's also things that are, are just here with me. But what are the consequences if those don't happen? I'm not going to reach those teenage girls that I want to go and reach with my story. And I know God can do that and God will do that. But for this sake, I'm going to choose to believe that that's not going to happen. They're not going to hear my story. I'm not going to get to talk to them. So they may make awful choices in who they date and who they hang out with and how they treat themselves and how they see themselves and how they see the world and how they see God. All because I decided that I wanted to be comfortable and not book that extra presentation or not ask that person to do Arbonne with me. Those are the consequences. It's not that, I have to live with carpet or, or my husband has to keep going to work when I'd like to bring him home, even though that's another great thing. But it's not those things that are just bonuses. I'm talking about people's lives. People's lives here are going to be changed because of my compelling why that God has given me. And that's not because I'm awesome, because I'm so far from that, but that's because God has called me to do that. And that's just one example. I know every single person out there listening to this is called to something, just like all of our amazing uplines are called to something. And look at the things they're doing. Donna Johnson sponsors five orphanages. That's insane. If she would have chose to be comfortable, that wouldn't have happened. Think about the consequences if she wouldn't have done that. That is insane to me. And I have got to find a way to put that in my face every single day, every single morning, that those consequences of me not fulfilling my compelling reason, the reason why I'm doing Arbonne, is not just me being comfortable. It's not just me buying a nice house or something. It's people's lives. And possibly for me, their salvation. I mean, that's crazy. That is insane. And that's what's going to get me out of bed, get me going, get me booking, get me doing everything that I need to do. Now, like I said, nobody's perfect. I'm sure there'll be days already today from being at the hospital super late last night. It was hard to get anything done today. I was exhausted, which is why I'm just now doing this at 7:30. But think about that. What are the consequences? I honestly may post the consequences of what doesn't happen if I don't fulfill this. What's going to happen up in my office? Because that is just totally lit a fire under me, and that's insane. Okay, moving on. Sorry. I was very blessed to be invited by Mandy McCoy to the incentive dinner, and the whole thing was awesome. You know, you get to spend time with everybody. I was actually getting ready to leave because my husband was back at the hotel, and you know, it was a long day, and I went to walk around to see if, you know, is anybody else in our nation or whatever was still there, just to tell them bye and to be safe going home. And it was good seeing them. And I saw that Donna Johnson was sitting outside, and she was just sitting on patio furniture, just hanging out. And a little group had kind of congregated around her, probably like 7 people. And I just, you know, ran over there and for the next couple of hours just sat there and just listened to anything and everything she had to say. It was just in awe of her heart, her mind. This is the first time I personally have gotten to see her, you know, in person. I know someday when I'm an MVP, I'll get to hang out with her a lot more, you know, in Maui and at GTC and things like that. But this is the first time, and I just sat there and we got to ask her questions, and just hearing her heart. If anybody wants to really hear about some of those things, I'd love to talk about those elsewhere, but I'm sure some other people are going to get on here and talk about that, because within the first 30 minutes, I looked behind me, and seriously, probably close to 40 people were just standing there watching and listening. And I just love that this is Donna Johnson. Oh my, Donna Johnson is sitting here pouring herself into people she doesn't even really know. You know, yeah, we're in her success line, but so far down, you know, I don't even know, but just pouring into us because that's who she is and that's who she loves, and pouring into us not just about, you know, how to get your web stats up, but how to raise your family, raise your kids, how to love on your hosts, how to do all those wonderful things. And it was amazing. You know, it was just an opportunity I know I will never forget. I know that'll be that compelling, what happened, the consequences if you don't do it. And then that moment, just soaking up Donna Johnson's love for a couple of hours. I know those will be 2 things I talk about, 2 shifts in my Arbonne journey for the rest of my career. I know that'll happen. So the last thing I want to leave you with, did anybody else, I know this isn't like a conversation, but did anybody else who was there, did anybody else sit there and think about if you were up there and you had to tell your story, what Disney character you would use? I hope that wasn't just me, but I love Disney. I love, you know, I watched all the princess movies, and I love that my daughter's 3 and she's starting to become obsessed with them. And so I just started thinking about, you know, what Disney story would define my journey, whether it's in Arbonne or just in life, and how, you know, how can that change, you know, whatever. Just really kind of reflecting. I'm a teacher. We were trained to reflect all the time, which is a good thing. But so just reflecting on that. And I guess there's just a few things that I think you can take away from that. There's a lot of victims in Disney movies, a lot of victims. I think I grew up playing the damsel in distress so many times with my Prince Charming coming to get me, you know, whatever. And that's fine, and that's great. And we talked about some of those characters and, you know, how not to be a victor, not to be a victim, those type of thing. But My favorite movie in my life has really, I think, been defined by Beauty and the Beast. Please hear me out. My husband's not a beast. He's amazing. But I'm so obsessed with Beauty and the Beast that my husband and I didn't get a wedding. We actually ended up eloping, but it was planned. And I had rented this beautiful place that had the two stairwells that walk down just like Beauty and the Beast. I had known from the first time I saw that park, I was probably 6 or 7. I had known that's where I want to get married because it was Beauty and the Beast like. And that image right there, that whole scene where they sing the actual song Beauty and the Beast and they walk down and, and they're just beautiful and they dance in the ballroom and it's just perfect. Just perfect harmony and everything. That was what it was just, I still cry. I asked my daughter to watch that movie more than she probably wants to because I love it. But it makes me cry because I love it. So, so I guess where this is going for how this has influenced my Arbonne journey is that I didn't get my wedding. And that's okay. And this has nothing to do with that, but I'm just letting you know where this is coming from. I didn't get my picture moment. I didn't get my dress. I didn't get my, walking down, the staircase or, the pictures or anything. It was just us and my husband's parents and my mom. Those were the only people there. And, just because of circumstances. And that was totally fine, because it's superficial. It was fine. And what we got was a marriage and a life, which was better. But, there are still times where I just get a hurt of man, I hate that I didn't get that. And I think maybe that's why I still cry a little bit. Maybe I have some unresolved issues. But anyway, what I mean by that with Arbonne is you don't have to give up on that vision. Whatever your vision is, whatever your moment of glory, of whatever that looks like for you, you don't have to give up on that. Don't give up on that dream. Don't give up on that moment. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take. It doesn't matter what it's going to take. Just do it and do not give up on it. It's so easy to slide into, well, okay, I tried. It's okay. I'm just going to, go back to doing whatever I was doing. It was working. I paid bills. It was fine. No. If God put that dream in your heart to do something amazing or take care of something or sponsor somebody or, Donna Johnson doing 5, there you go, baby. Sorry. Doing orphanages or, Valerie Edwards does that. Christy Trent, Lori, everybody, they serve so big. That was their vision. What would have happened if they would have given up on that? You don't have to give up on that. I'm here to tell you that today. Charlie, go back. Whatever your dream is, whatever God has put on your heart, don't give up on that. Don't. It's going to be hard. It's going to take time. But you don't have to give up on that. Whatever your walking down the staircase moment is, keep that in your mind and do not settle until you achieve it. Because you are worth it. You are so worth it. Whatever that dream is worth it. And you know what? Once you achieve that dream, I know you're going to get new dreams. So then go after those. But don't ever think that you're not worth it because you are. You are worth going after what you want and what God has put in your heart. So don't ever settle and go out and get whatever your Disney moment is. Okay. I hope that made sense. I hope this wasn't too long. I'm sorry. But I love you all. Thank you. Just for being an amazing nation. It was so much fun to be with everybody. Our side sisters are amazing. I don't know if the rest of Arbonne are side sisters like we are, but I know that you guys we would die for each other and for our families. And I appreciate that. You're awesome. So, have a great night. Love you all. Talk to you later. Bye.